let's do a deep dive into the EUDR. So, hey Vikas, thanks for joining in.
Hi Nikhil, how are you?
So, this is something which is going to affect a lot of brands. To give you some perspective, India's coffee export to EU accounts for 50% of total coffee exports which India does.
I think it's more than that.
And probably this is data from a couple of years back and worth over $600 million. India is the world's fifth largest rubber exporter, and EU receives approximately 25% of its natural rubber from us. That's over $800 million annually. Finally, India is a major exporter of finished leather products, with EU accounting for 30 to 40% of its export, worth roughly $1.5 billion annually. I'm giving you some of these numbers, and I specifically chose these three major export products because these are the ones which will deeply be affected by the EUDR. So what is this EUDR and how is it going to impact our trade? Vikas, can you just take us through what is EUDR?
So, if you look at world over, Europe is one union. It's not a country. So it's one union, one continent where they're very conscious about the environment and everything happening around that. So given that, what they've done is they've made a regulation, which is EUDR. It basically means European Union Deforestation Regulation. It basically mandates that any product there are 7 to 8 products which they've classified. And I'm assuming it may probably get expanded to more products. So any of these products which are imported into Europe need to come from an area which is not prone to deforestation. So any such commodity like coffee, leather, rubber, etc., which gets imported into Europe, it has to be proven that these are basically being grown and sourced from regions where basically deforestation is not happening.
Okay.
This is basically to protect the environment, to ensure that you're conscious about that, and to put onus on the growers to not cut down trees,
destroy the environment,
exactly.
Yeah.
To basically grow these commodities, etc. The impact of this obviously is that the Indian exporters now will have to basically ensure that they comply with this. It basically puts more pressure on them now. They need to satisfy more regulations. They need to ensure that they're able to prove to the importer that this is coming from an area which is not deforested, which obviously also going to affect some of the exports that happens. Is going to put a little bit more pressure on the export as well.
So if it's not deforested, basically they are saying that it has to be a cultivated land. Is my understanding correct?
No, the thing is, I think they put basically they've defined area which is before 2020.
Okay.
That area, after 2020, we need to ensure that the area had the same forest cover which it had around that time.
Okay.
So that's what we need to prove. So which basically means yes. So that area should have not been deforested now to enable this cultivation. So it ideally should already have been a land which is used for cultivation.
Okay.
Or it should be grown in areas where there is enough forest covers. Like for example, coffee anyways needs good forest cover to grow. So that could be the reason. The idea is that you should not chop down the trees, erode the forest, reduce the number of trees, etc. that are currently that we have among the forest cover that we have in India.
Okay.
Or for that matter, any country. This is not just specific to India. Any country which is basically exporting to Europe needs to comply with that.